Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Flipped Classroom video. We move into double figures with Unit 10, Chapter 2. In this class, we're going to read about three people's first experiences in life. As we go through each story, I'd like you to think about your own personal experiences and notice how the passages are written, focusing, as always, on the structure. So let's begin. Here is basically what we are going to cover in this video. I'm going to give you a bit of a hint for the Dictogloss we'll do during class. I'll then give a suggestion for a really interesting video about someone's first experience. We'll have a quick look at the structure for this week, go through the text as usual, and finish with a homework reminder and the Your Turn writing topic for this lesson. Although I have given you a few tips about the Dictogloss from time to time through these videos, this time I'm actually going to tell you the topic, and the topic is going to be bananas. So my suggestion for you before class is to just do a little research about bananas. Find what you can on the internet, and this may help you to get a better score when we do the Dictogloss activity in class. Now I hope you are watching these videos I suggest each week. The object is to get you thinking about the topic and improve your preparation for the writing topic. This week, I'd like to share a video about bungee jumping. Go to YouTube and search Sendai Ben bungee. Notice that Sendai Ben is one word and the username of the person who made this video. The thumbnail for this week's video looks like this. Have a look and think, would you like to try bungee jumping? Alright, let's start moving into the passages for this week. Here's a brief summary of what the basic structure of each passage is going to look like. We have three passages written by three different people this week, and each will follow this basic flow. First, we'll see very clearly what the experience was. This will be followed by details or a story. This is what will make up the main part of each paragraph, and you should also follow this style when you write. Finally, you should conclude your passage, and one way of doing that is mentioning what you learned from the experience. Here's the first passage for this week. We start with a very clear sentence showing what the experience was. Then, in orange here, Miguel tells the story about his experience of getting a license and how it changed his life. I like how he has thrown in a few concrete numbers, like the age he got his license and how far his girlfriend lived away. This really adds something to the passage. Finally, although he doesn't exactly say what he learned from the experience, he does summarize the passage pretty well with a simple sentence saying that he liked the independence that came with being able to drive. Let's have a look at the next passage. Here is Marta talking about one of her first experiences, her first date. The topic of the paragraph is very clear in the first sentence. This is a pattern we have observed throughout the course, and I certainly hope that by now you will be well aware of this writing style. Next, we have the finer details of what happened, including their feelings of being very shy. Isn't that cute? We talked about discussing our feelings when we write about personal experiences, such as in a diary. Marta completes her passage by mentioning that the boy she went on the date with was her first boyfriend. Although she isn't directly saying what she learned through this experience, it is a good way to complete the passage, and I guess it is implying that she learned something about relationships by having a boyfriend. And finally, we have Sujin. Once again, the topic sentence clearly shows what the main theme of this paragraph is going to be. After that, we have the details of his experience, including descriptions of how he felt, his emotions. Finally, to finish off the paragraph, Sujin shares what he learned through this experience and even adds a little information about the future. Now maybe you think that he is not talking about the future. However, when the topic of a paragraph is based in the past, like Sujin is talking about a past experience here, we can tell the reader what happened after that event. In this passage, Sujin writes, "I keep in touch with many of them even now." So talking about the future in the conclusion can include what happened after the main event in your composition. This may be a good way of writing a conclusion in your composition this week. As usual, here is the homework for this week. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time to submit it well before the deadline. Here is the Your Turn topic for this week. We read about 3 people's experiences in the text. I'd like you to do a much longer composition than what we read here. You can write details about your experience and add feelings and emotions as we practice when writing a diary. There are only a couple more units until the end of this course, so really push yourself to write a better composition with good descriptions. Finally, I'd like you to bring a newspaper article to our next class. Of course, because this is a paperless class, I'd like you to find the article online and keep a copy of the URL. Perhaps you can email it to yourself or something like that. You will need to add that link in next week's writing composition. I'll explain more in class. Bye-bye.